Factorio. Is it just a game, or is it something more? For some, it's a digital obsession. For others, it's a masterclass in systems engineering. But for just about everyone who's played it, it's the undisputed king of the factory simulation genre. Today, we're going to dig into the history and the mechanics of this absolute landmark of a game.
So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at how it all got started. Then we'll dive into the fundamental physics that make everything in the game move. After that, we'll talk about the things that are actively trying to kill you and your factory. And finally, we'll explore how the factory becomes this endless project.
You know, every single one of those sprawling, continent-spanning mega factories you see online, they all start in the exact same way, with a single engineer chopping down a single tree. That journey, from pure manual labor to total automation, is the core story of Factorio, brought to life by the developers over at Woob Software.
Now, this game didn't just appear overnight. Its journey was a real marathon. It all kicked off with a public prototype way back in 2012, got a little boost from a crowdfunding campaign, and then spent 4 critical years in Steam Early Access. That's where the dedicated community really helped forge it into the complex beast it is today, long before its official 1.0 release.
The real genius of Factorio isn't that it invented everything from scratch. It's how it brilliantly stitched together ideas from other legendary games. It's like they took the insane emergent chaos of Dwarf Fortress, mixed it with the automated pipelines from Minecraft mods like Buildcraft, and built it all on top of the hardcore logistical puzzles from OpenTTD. The result was something completely new.
And that mix creates an unbelievably powerful gameplay loop. It's so addictive that Notch himself, the guy who created Minecraft, famously tweeted about how it was taking over his brain. This feeling, that factory trance, where hours just disappear, it comes directly from the game's central pillar, the physics of flow.
And when we talk about flow, we have to start with the belt transport system. This is the literal lifeblood of any factory. It's the circulatory system, the fundamental tool for moving millions of items from point A to point B. And the crazy part, it's a totally zero-energy system that's all about pure spatial logic.
Okay, to really get belts, you have to understand one key concept: throughput. Now, this isn't just about raw speed. It's a combination of how fast a belt moves and how tightly you can pack items onto it. Maximizing throughput isn't just a goal, it's the central challenge of all logistics in this game.
The game, of course, gives you an escalating set of tools for this. You start with the humble yellow belts, moving just 15 items a second. But that won't last. Soon, you'll need the red belts for 30, then the blue ones for 45. And if you dive into mods, you can get green belts pushing a staggering 60 items a second. Each upgrade isn't just a small improvement, it's an absolute necessity to feed the ever-growing machine.
But here's the catch. Just having faster belts won't save you. To manage the unbelievable chaos of a huge factory, you need a plan, a real design philosophy. And over the years, the community has basically settled on 3 major ways to organize the madness. First, there's what everyone lovingly calls spaghetti. And yeah, it looks exactly how it sounds. It's that organic, tangled, and honestly beautiful mess of a first factory. It just grows wherever it needs to. It's chaotic, sure, but it's how most of us start. And it's fantastic for learning the ropes because it's so flexible.
Now, once you get tired of the spaghetti, a lot of players graduate to the main bus. This is a conscious decision to bring order to the chaos. You build a massive central artery of belts carrying all your key resources in neat, parallel lines. It creates structure, which is great, but that order comes at a price. It can be really rigid and hard to change later on.
Finally, for those who want to build on a truly epic scale, there's the city block. This approach completely abandons a central bus. Instead, you create a massive, modular grid connected by trains, where each block is its own dedicated factory. It's designed for one thing: almost infinite scalability. But you better be prepared to do a lot of planning and get real friendly with train signals.
So why do all this? Why this relentless push for bigger and more efficient factories? Because you are not alone on this planet. The factory exists in a world that pushes back, and all of your industrial activity, it has consequences.
It's time to meet the locals. These are biters, and as your factory gets bigger, meaner, and more polluting, so do they. A small biter is one thing, kind of like a pest, but a medium biter, that's a real threat. It's way tougher, faster, and even has damage resistance. The message is pretty clear. The danger scales right along with you.
And this all creates this perfect, vicious feedback loop. You build the factory, which generates pollution. That pollution angers the biters, who then attack you. To survive those attacks, you have to research better defenses. But to build those defenses, you need a bigger factory, which of course makes more pollution. It's this brilliant cycle of escalation that forces you to expand, not just out of ambition, but for sheer survival.
Look, just launching the rocket in the base game is a massive undertaking. But for so many players, that's really just the end of the tutorial. The game's true, almost infinite depth gets unlocked by its absolutely incredible modding community.
Let me just give you a number. 1,000. Over 1,000 hours. That's the estimated time it takes for a single playthrough of a mod pack called Pyanodons. And this isn't just adding a few more items. This is a complete reimagination of the game's complexity. It transforms Factorio into something that feels like a PhD in logistics and chemical engineering.
And Pyanodons is just one of the big ones. There's a whole mountain range of these overhaul mods. Factorio 2 is like a polished Vanilla Plus experience. Space exploration literally sends you to other planets, with all the rocket science and logistics that implies. Industrial Revolution 3 forces you to progress through distinct technological eras. Each one is a different answer to that fundamental question: what comes next?
And it all comes back to that simple, central mantra: the factory must grow. It's a simple command that powers a simulation of just staggering depth, which really makes you wonder, in this relentless pursuit of optimization, where exactly does the game end and our own very human ambition take over?